A native of Buffalo, New York, David Wolfram says warm weather brought him out to the West Coast over 4 decades ago.
Once I had to start digging myself out to go to work in the morning, I decided there's better places to be, and I moved to California.
And it was his artistic talent that kept him in the Southland, honing a skill he picked up as a young child.
My father was a frustrated artist, so he taught me to draw when I was like 4 or 5, and I'd do knights and soldiers and trains, and I actually went to art school in the late 60s.
Wolfram confesses he wasn't the best student, but after moving to California, he tried again, this time taking classes at El Camino College and putting together a portfolio. He got accepted into Art Center College of Design in Pasadena.
There I actually applied myself and graduated with distinction and went immediately from Art Center into working design products at Mattel.
The Excellence in Arts winner has since retired from Mattel and spends his time painting familiar landscapes.
I paint up a lot in Palos Verdes. I love Madrona Marsh and Torrance, especially now that we're starting to get some rain again. It's a really beautiful place. But I also like to travel. I do a lot of road trips and the Southwest, up to Monterey.
He uses oils and pastels to paint scenery in an impressionistic style.
I tend to be a little tighter in my studio paintings. I do a lot of plein air paintings, and they tend to be a little bit looser because you have to work a lot quicker when you're doing plein air.
That means painting on location, something Wolfram can't always do.
A lot of times, a lot of things I like to paint are either early morning scenes or things right around sundown, and there's no way you can actually set and capture because that light, at that point the sun is really traveling quickly and the lighting effects really change quickly.
He captures the effect on camera so he can recreate it later on canvas.
Sometimes you have to work for a photograph, plus anytime you're doing a large studio piece, that's something you couldn't do in one sitting, so I need to have that in the studio.
Wolfram was also a founding member of the fine art gallery co-op called Destination Art, located in downtown Torrance. Wolfram and a group of South Bay artists came up with the idea of the co-op, hoping to give artists like himself and many others a place to exhibit their work and give them a workspace to be creative.
We all had studios at home, but you're always working sort of in a vacuum. One thing we like is actually the chance to work with other artists. We all sort of raise our energy levels that way.
Which he gets to do with 6 different artists who rent studios. Wolfram showed us some of the work he does in his space. A piece can take anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks to complete. His work is shown at local art shows and can also be found at Destination Art.
I sort of reserve the gallery for maybe a little bit more experimental work that I don't bring out to my shows, so it's a chance to see another side of me. I like painting old trucks, done a lot of those over the course of the years, big ones and small ones.
Wolfram's work is also featured on the web.
I have had work featured, like right now, Dakota Art Pastels, where I buy a lot of my pastels. I'm a featured artist on their website or their Facebook page.
Wolfram, who serves as the vice president of the Torrance Artists Guild, also finds time to apply his artistic talent for charities.
We did a project for the Torrance Festival of Trees, where I was the designer for this tree that we did as part of Destination Art, our art co-op. And it was called Have Yourself a Very Artful Christmas, and every single ornament, over 200 ornaments, were all handmade.
That tree was one of the first sold. Wolfram also finds joy in passing his knowledge on to others, teaching classes at Destination Art and at the PV Arts Center.
I never really expected I'd be teaching, but that's one of the gratifying things. People see your work and they really want to learn about your process.
He never expected to win the Excellence in Arts Award for Visual Arts either.
I was really pleased. I don't normally go and try and get accolades. I was actually very pleased. All I do is put my paintings up and I didn't have to perform.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad I was able to do my presentation in advance.
At the end of the day, Wolfram says it was more about celebrating the arts in Torrance.
It isn't who's the best artist, but it's who's made a contribution to the city of Torrance.